The Packers will have a first and goal. Receiver to the right, Jimmy Graham. Rodgers, quick toss in the flat, left side, got his man for the end zone, and a touchdown.
First and Goal podcast on Spreaker.com. And we're now on all your favorite platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Tumblr, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can always follow us on Twitter at First and Goal Pod and our Facebook page, facebook.com/First and Goal Pod 33.
Get money, yeah. Every day I'm hustling. 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 3, 2, 1.
And welcome, everybody, to another live edition of First and Goal with me, your founder and producer, Jay in the UP. And joined, as always, down in Georgia. And it's Tuesday, so both the boys, one in Georgia, one in whatever the hell place he lives from, because he never quite says all the damn time. We've got Dave and my new nickname for this man, DB. What's up, boys?
What's up, First and Goalers? What's up, Fantasy World? Jay, very creative with the DB. And just so you know, it is slightly confusing. I live in North Augusta, South Carolina, right on the border of Georgia.
Well, now that we've got that finally clarified after about 6 months, you know, you were not telling me exactly where you live, or anybody for this matter, for this long. Kind of reminds me of that scene in Black Sheep, where Farley kind of looks at him and he's like, excuse me, it's easy to win when you never move your back row!
Strategically. That's what you're saying? I did it strategically.
I think so. You wanted me to constantly say you're from Georgia so you could be like, no, I'm not. And then you just move on. Never said you were actually from.
Oh, North Augustians are a proud, small group of folks that don't want to be considered part of the Augusta area. Believe me, I hear it all the time.
I didn't want you to know I was on my way to Area 51.
Oh, my God.
I thought that was supposed to be like 2 nights ago.
It's every night.
Every night? That's not good. Why would you go there every night? Are you trying to tell me that you're from another planet?
He's in Area 51 lot leader.
But then I just wanted to meet the kid who did the Naruto run.
Oh, my gosh. How do we get into these situations, guys? Really, honestly. These rabbit holes have been frequently becoming more and more of a problem, and therefore I have to move us on. Dave, you're up.
Well, news updates. I'm going to come right out with a biggie. Cam Newton is out indefinitely with a Lisfranc injury. So, I'm sorry, folks. Sorry. New name. Just got this in. Camilla Newton has now resumed her modeling career, and now Cam Newton will be out.
Going back to Tyler Perry's House of Pain.
Big Mama's House 3 coming at you. But anyways, Kyle Allen will be starting QB again after that great first start. I was impressed with him. I don't know about y'all, but he looked good. I know it was against Arizona, but it was on the road, 2 hours behind the time zone, and everyone was like supposed to basically expect nothing out of Carolina. Apparently, no one told Kyle Allen that.
Listen, as a football fan, I was impressed. As someone who streamed Arizona's defense, not happy.
Because you expected this chump to come out and throw 4 interceptions. You expected like a couple of interceptions, something, sacks, nothing.
I expected the Chandler Jones show, and it started off great, strip sack, and I was like, here we go, baby. And then 4 touchdowns later, I'm crying in the corner in the fetal position.
Yeah, well...
Did you lose your fantasy game?
At least you didn't lose your second straight fantasy matchup by 30-plus points, for the love of God!
Well, luckily for you two, this is a much-anticipated matchup between the both of you in our fantasy league this week.
Oh, I didn't even know I was playing him.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And you have some interesting matchups. Both of you have some curious moves to make.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Well, yeah, being that my bench scores like, let's see, my bench scores 10 apiece on top of what my starting roster is, I think I'm good.
Dave, do you mind if I cut in with some breaking fantasy news?
I have one more. Oh, yes, go ahead. Yes, breaking fantasy news.
Well, not so much breaking, but it is very recently because of an apparent shoulder injury to Vance McDonald. The Steelers have
I was going to get to this on my news, so it ties in.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll transition right into that. The Steelers have decided to add depth to their tight end chart. They have traded for the Seahawks tight end, former Ohio State Buckeye, Nick Vanette. I don't expect much
Ohio
out of
State.
him. That's right. But failed lawsuit, by the way. But just something to throw out there. If you're looking for a streamer this week, I forget who Pittsburgh faces, but don't bother with Nick Vanette. There's got to be someone else. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, yeah, I was going to say for a 5th-round pick, Seattle did send Vanette. That was like about 30 minutes ago that came out. Man, I don't know how I feel about it because Vanette showed like flashes here and there in Seattle. There was never this constant, like him showing he was a solid tight end. So maybe the Steelers can get him to play well. He's not really a blocking tight end either. So I expect him to be out in the slot or right off the edge of the tackle if they're going to use him. Also, too...
I think... Oops, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say maybe we see more of a receiving tight end, Xavier Campbell. Maybe not. But yeah, Vanette, no real athlete when it comes to stretching the field. He's certainly not Vance McDonald. So, moving on.
But an injury to Chad Beebe, it looks like it's going to have him out 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm kind of shocked the Vikings did this. They went and re-signed Laquan Treadwell. I don't know why, because he's no Hands McGee. I've watched him drop so many footballs in Minnesota, it makes friggin' Kevin White look normal. Well, I'm just saying. Oh, and they re-signed Marcus Sherrills, too, since Beebe was the returner and the third-string wide receiver. So now they had to go sign 2 people to replace him on the roster for what he did. Why? Why Treadwell? If he was that good, he would have stayed in the roster.
Treadwell is just familiarity in the slot, and I think because they've been running the ball so much, they really haven't been. Chad Beebe hasn't even been on the field that much. It's been a lot of multiple tight end sets, a lot of run heavy sets. They've been leaning on the thing on their stud running back, because I honestly am starting to wonder if Kirk Cousins doesn't show that he can be the quarterback they can play. I think he's going to get traded or something or cut. I just don't see that.
Not with that $29 million cap hit.
Oh, my God. I can't see them going through another year of this. How the hell he got all that money when wow. You should
Biggest train robbery since Jesse James.
Listen, he was throwing for yardage and touchdowns in Washington. I mean, granted, the picks came with it, but he was putting up numbers. He's not in this offense.
Did you not listen
4 and 26
against winning teams? How to explain how to judge him, Dillon? Because I'm not going to redo it again. I don't want people's ears to bleed. Not tonight. We have too many other things.
Please save mine.
Well, no,
I'm just surprised you're going to say that when I know damn well you've heard what I've said about that. Like, all that crap doesn't matter.
He's not a clutch quarterback, but he's certainly a competent quarterback. He can throw the ball down the field and complete it. You know, he had
the $29 million 100% guaranteed.
But man, they're just, I mean, the attempts this year, they're just low attempts. They're not putting up the balls that much, and Dalvin Cook's having a lot of success. But, I mean, it falls on Kirk Cousins as well, is what I'm trying to say, because he is throwing some pretty poor interceptions.
Little bit. If it's just like kind of the, God, what comparison do I got to put him with? Kirk Cousins. I've been saying it. He's a younger Matthew Stafford. I'm going to keep saying it. He is
to Matthew Stafford. I'm telling you.
How? Wait, disrespectful to Matt Stafford's the same thing.
No, he's not.
They can't be winning teams.
Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than he is. Sorry.
Okay.
He just is. He's better.
Ew. Go wash your mouth out.
I've seen Matthew Stafford do things in clutch moments in games that even
against non-winning teams.
Doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins still fails.
Yes,
in those
it does. So does Matt Stafford is 8-73 against winning record teams.
Matt has done it a few times in clutch moments. Can never say that Kurt's ever done
it. Against non-winning teams.
He's terrible.
That's the thing.
He's terrible.
The 8 comeback win season and
Matthew Stafford. I will
8 comeback.
That because you are a Stafford
That's
hater.
Fine.
You're a Stafford hater.
Yes.
And I'm sorry.
Because he's never been able to win in the clutch either.
It's okay, but you can't just put him and Cousins in the same thing and say no.
I will. He's a younger Matt Stafford.
I will not allow
Stat hatters.
You are muted. No, nobody can hear you.
Muted that.
Do it. Anyways, going on. Remember the 8 comeback win season for Stafford, guys? Yeah, all of them were 500 below record teams.
Okay, moving on to something else, like, I don't know, anything else? Like, how about these stupid frickin' power rankings? Didn't you want to talk about that?
Well, hold on. Whoa. There's actually a name out there that I think some teams might be interested in. Dolphins released defensive tackle Tank Carradine, and he's got a ton of vet experience that I think people should be looking at. Not saying the Packers, but, I mean, if you're looking at dinged-up teams on the defensive line, I mean, the Bears has Akeem Hicks that might be out. They're already missing Milo Nichols. They might be interested. I can think of another 5 teams right now that could probably need him. And don't be surprised if you see him signed either tomorrow or the day after.
Rabbit hole. Speaking of a good run defender, can we stop putting 2 of the worst run defenders on stretch plays on the field together at the same time, Packers? Please, take 95 and 51 off the field together at the same time. It's ridiculous. I don't even have to really watch. I asked Dave to study this on tape, and his response was, "Are you freaking kidding me? I don't need to watch the tape to figure out those 2 are getting pushed around." Sorry, rabbit hole.
No, you're good. We were going to get to that. You just wanted to get it off your chest, I can tell.
It's been bothering me for days.
Well, yes, you know what? Let's go ahead and get in these power rankings.
All right, you just go ahead, because I don't need to go on any rants and make people's ears bleed so they tune out your actual,
You mean like your last rant 5 seconds ago?
Shut up.
That's what they're here for.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think they are, too. Well, not surprising. Number 32, Miami Dolphins. If you don't have Miami Dolphins, your last-ranked team, you probably shouldn't be judging football. The Jets are right above them, and I don't know how I feel about that because they've been hit by injuries big time. I mean, Darnold got caught kissing someone and caught mono. I mean, you look at that. C.J. Mosley's still out. Quentin Williams is out. I mean, there's a big hit there on injuries to the Jets. I'm going to give them a little side table put on to see if the injuries, when they're done, if they come back and start winning. But I don't see them doing anything to jump up in the rankings in the next couple weeks. The one that caught my eye the most, I can't believe that they're this low, was the Steelers. I know they're 0-3, but, man, they put up a fight against the 49ers. They were ranked 25th. I don't think they should be that low. I still think they got way too much talent.